Hello, my name is Xiuming Kim, and I will explain Twitter politics, so political interactions in the social media age. This is my table of contents. So first we need to define what is social media in this context. So social media is probably something that's very familiar to our everyday lives, but they are defined as internet-based platforms that allow the creation and exchange of user-generated content, usually using either mobile or web-based technologies. They're different from blogs, and they usually have a semi-public or public profile to connect with other users. So first we'll go into what the differences are between traditional political interactions and social media. So traditional political interactions can be separated into legal versus illegal. Legal are usually within the institutionalized political system, and they can also include legal strikes and demonstrations, while illegal can be divided into violent and non-violent, with violence being damage to private property and armed violence, and examples of non-violent, peaceful unauthorized strikes and demonstrations or boycotts. Non-violent illegal political participation, though, can be used to raise awareness of social issues in a productive manner. So of course there are other medias besides social media. So traditional political interactions through mass media, as in television and newspapers, were found that though they had impacted awareness for those who already had political interest, they did not really impact the civil form or local politics. And local politics was found to be more positively affected by interpersonal communication. And also, a big topic in recent history is the inaccurate polls in the 2016 United States elections. They were shown that though historically polls have been accurate, in the 2016 election, polls were shown to be inaccurate due to various factors not being accounted for, like demographics, the shy Trump effect, and people changing their minds. So we can sum this all up, traditional political interactions, as traditional formats of political interactions may not be entirely accurate to today, and nonviolent interpersonal interactions that occur outside the scope of the institutionalized participation model are most conducive to a person being more active in local politics, and therefore it can be supposed that their interest and participation in politics rises in general. So politics and social media. Social media is definitely one of the biggest worldwide coordinating tools for political movements. It has a low barrier to entry and quick spread of information, which will be relevant throughout the entire rest of my presentation. There is political content in abundance, like city Facebook pages and everyday debate. Social media can be used as an accurate predictor of online political sentiment, and they can also be used as a platform for politicians to gain followers, like Obama in 2008 and 2012, and Trump in 2016. So social media platforms have become intrinsic in daily life and politics. So now we'll go into issues with social media politics. The first one is political polarization, which has grown due to the current media environment creating echo chambers. Echo chambers happen when people curate their news feeds, which leads to extreme political polarization. A continual feedback loop of ideological engagement pushes people to political poles. So how does this happen? A group's position, in general, will move in the direction of the most persuasive argument, and if a group's members are already leaning in one direction, they will be inclined to only provide arguments for that direction. There are also reputational considerations. People who wish to be perceived positively by their fellows may tweak their views to appear favorable to others. And even those that do not actively participate may be affected by mere exposure. Also, if one gains confidence in their ideas, they become radicalized in their beliefs by default. An example of political polarization is the resurgence of Nazism in modern democratic states. For example, the Greek far-right party Golden Dawn is openly anti-Semitic and praises past dictators. It uses social media to spread their ideas. The second issue with social media politics is call-out culture, which is basically the concept of the horde mindset. Leftist activists call out each other for transgressions against social justice values, causing digital masses to swarm the transgressor and harass them. Mass internet harassment is actually quite common. These happen due to social cascades, information rapidly spreading within polarized groups, and people who do not have first-hand experience or choose to ignore the experience to follow the group. Though revolutionaries and terrorists alike try to take advantages of cascades, leftists in call-out culture often unknowingly cause them. So call-out culture has also been used against social activism to belittle them, and the mental effects on well-being but oblivious offenders is huge, which is why this is a big issue. So the next issue with social media politics is fake news, which is a term popularized by Donald Trump in his 2016 campaign. It refers to news articles that are intentionally and verifiably false, sometimes intending to mislead readers. They are typically false by distortion of truth and not by reading through a certain political lens. Before the internet, only TV and newspapers were allowed, so it was difficult to fact check, but it was also difficult to outright lie. So why is social media so good at spreading fake news? Well, as we've mentioned before, the costs and barriers are very low. Social media usage is extremely high now, and only growing. The format of social media, which is very short and snappy, it makes it difficult to assess accuracy, and social media is ideologically insular, as we've mentioned before. So why do people create fake news? Well, there are two big reasons why. There's monetary, which means that the articles that go viral generate ad revenue, and there's also ideological, which means that some people who intend to further their political beliefs, and there are others who intend to ridicule their opposition. Of course, there are very big issues with fake news. A viral article can get as much traction as a well-researched article from big-name news providers. The social costs means that one gets inaccurate information, leading to inaccurate beliefs and undermines the political system. The reduced demand for low-bias, high-precision reporting reduces incentive for big news producers to invest in accurate reporting, and consumers become suspicious of even accurate news producers. However, there is hope. I'll go into optimism for internet politics. The first big optimistic point is destigmatization through discourse. Political correctness has been a big issue lately. Is it anti-free speech, or does it work through normalization? Well, it's been proven that destigmatization through normalization does work, and gay marriage is a big example that I'm sure that most of you have experienced in your lifetime. Mental illness is the example that I want to go into in detail, which was traditionally extremely stigmatized both inwardly and outwardly, but social media is allowing the discussion to open up and allow people to seek help. As mental health is proven to improve as long as a person has a supporting structure and trust in physicians or therapists helping them, the effects of social media discourse on mental health is undoubtedly positive. Online health communities are a good place for support and self-disclosure, and the anonymity of online helps people to share experiences they would feel uncomfortable sharing in real life. A big community for this is Reddit, which centralizes the discussions of various topics in subforums, subreddits, allowing people easy access to these discussions. Throwaway accounts let people express emotions in a way an identifiable profile would not. Social support is shown through high-quality, informational, or sympathetic comments. Another big optimistic point for internet politics is its use as an activist platform. Pre-internet, activism took place in the form of legal or illegal demonstrations or violence, which caused a big stigma against it. However, now social media plays a vital role as a new platform in activism. A big example of this is the Arab Spring in Egypt. Social media allowed activists and youths to communicate outside governmental control, sharing information with other activists about what to do during protests, as well as uploading videos that go viral showing police brutality. Another example is feminism making a big comeback, citing the importance of intersectionality. Online forums are easier places to talk about sensitive topics thanks to anonymity, which causes the feminist movement to grow. So why do activists use social media? Well, firstly, of course, the low cost to entry and easy accessibility. It allows people to connect with other activists throughout the world, and also regular non-activists also use the platform, so they can be a potential audience. The last big point that I want to go over is political innovations, the potential for it. Social media is mostly used as an extension of daily life, but this means that political participation has moved away from being restricted from formal institutionalized politics, which means that political identity has changed to become more self-actualized, and people engage with it in their everyday life. Social relations of power have also changed. Government secrets have been leaked, protests are organized globally, privacy legislation has changed due to the internet, and politicians are openly criticized on YouTube, which means that citizens have changed from being passive consumers of media to creating their own. This can also bring the rise of digital democracy, which means that while democracy may become more populist through the growth of the internet, it also has the potential to become more inclusive than ever. Thank you for listening to my presentation.